Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Mercenary. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your key,
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of
Can't believe you
that thing. I'm right here.
better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the...
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. Super effective. Sharp steel. Don't let go. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. Feeling so much better. starting to add up. Flash the slash. Great shot. Now that's a flesh wound. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That ain't bad. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Close encounter. Sure useful. Grab on tight. Toxanol built vessels called arcs to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single arc they left behind that we know. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Someone locked it solid. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Wham! Chop it up. Crit. Halfway there. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That's a good find. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Ja wawan away.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Ja, sawata mua kobwa yak.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Tolu keta. Ja wawan away.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Loma toa ha. I kobe. Ifari kobo farm.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Ka nuka nuburak.
How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what?
Tolu woya lo yalo batolu yo.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Fabobe mok kofar. Evunko tu buvum.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Evunko tu buvum.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had...
Falu alo hero. Evunko tu buvum.
The impending threat of the World Eaters bringing down the Tree of Life is ever so close. He also worries about the Jagni tribe that's actively working for a doomsday and purging of the world.
Tu wavu become a pen.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he won't... You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll... One day, he hopes the tree will have grown... But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able... You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us act. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the Toxinol... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his Octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route.
Lotulu Bio.
The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own.
Yevofo Lolanofo Baluotolua.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved.
Paigatawa Mopu Far Kobi.
He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the porky puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg.
Far Kobe Makoto Far Titaba.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Do Wavu.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe's Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expect. He can sense you share Myriad's view on the world. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. Bullets everywhere. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Points out that the Sifu has a tight schedule, but is willing to let you in and find out if he has an open slot.
Zata is the muy totloho. Kariesne zdace. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves, to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. The Sifu says Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life. He had a feeling you'd say that. You're not sinister enough to be a Jagni. That big heart of yours makes you weak. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival. Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war, and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong side. And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad's. He disagrees, and the day you meet again, you'll understand why. It's time to say goodbye for now, and if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever, then the next will mean the end for you. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Down to half your health. A smart foe would lead. You could put that to good use. Let's see. Let's see. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance.
Je ne veux à la durée.
Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Says just because you've made time to meet the Sifu doesn't mean he has time for you. But you're welcome to give it a try.
Sipi? La fanen agin kan man. Gerat na fal hut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomed, but he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. He heard you took out-of-date side against the scavengers in Bunker 101. It seems you believe in helping your next. And that's something you have in common. He's The Sifu says sometimes your Muma invented one. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you should coerce first is the Jagni tribe. The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end to everything. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even though they might bring... He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much. Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to... They pass... Seeing you brings back... Myriad one... He remembers your kind and Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. Hopes that thing is programmed to be friendly. Understands completely. Asks if you know Wiz, the one who builds the octopod. making great progress.